Hi, I'm Tim of the 1916 Company, announcing our all-new 1916 Company app. Check out our all-new community features, including wrist time, where you can log the watch you wear, how often you wear your watches, and see a graphical representation of how you use your collection. But wait, there's more, because this wrist time feature allows you to post in real time to our live feed of user wrist shots. Our community functions also include professionally moderated discussions, all sorts of views, debate, insights into what people want to say about the watches of our times, and all your favorite features are coming back, including media, editorial from Jack Forster, video from yours truly. You can continue to build your online collection and your wish list, plus all the commercial features are back. Buy, trade, and sell through the app, browse our global inventory of pre-owned and new watches. A wrist shot could begin the process of a trade or a purchase. Find the 1916 Company app on the Apple App Store and Google.
Hello family, CQ the Watch Guy back in the studio for my first collector conversation back. And I was dreaming of this day for a long time. I said if I'm coming back and I'm doing a collector conversation, we have to do a very special collection with a very special guest. Today I have the honor of being with Mr. BK Fulton. BK, thank you so much for being here. Truly an honor. Filmmaker, author. Depending on the book you pick up and you look for the definition of Renaissance man, you see this smile right there. So happy we could be doing this today. And you brought some really great watches for us to check out.
Thank you. It's a pleasure to be here.
Thank you so much. Before we dive into these amazing watches, just give me a quick snapshot of who is BK Fulton.
Wow.
I know it's hard.
What would my mother say? I am trained as an engineer and an architect and an intellectual property lawyer. And I've morphed into a bit of a storyteller with works in film, on Broadway, and I don't know, 16, 17 books just for fun.
I love that. You know, we spent a lot of time today, and one thing you said to me is still resonating in my head, you know, because you really focus on bringing people together and doing really special things and experiences. And you said, you know, in the world, we're all cousins. You know, we just haven't met each other yet, and we're still just getting to know each other. So you feel like a cousin I've known for a long time. You know, you're one of the original members of the CP Time Watch Club. So I've seen you at many events, and within the Watch Club, you post some of the most amazing watches I've seen. Not just in terms of value or the brand, but just your hunt, your passion and the finds that you find. What guides you when you're purchasing a watch?
Well, thanks for sharing that. For me, it's about what speaks to me. At the end of the day, we're all kind of passionate creatures. And I love watches where elegance intersects with technical mastery, and where that comes together, I get excited. And so I don't always pick the watches that everybody else does, and God bless them for their choices, but I pick the watches that speak to me. I do believe we're all cousins trying to find our way home. And if you love watches, there's a door that opens for a common conversation. I tell people the watch game can be a heck of an icebreaker, because you see somebody with exquisite taste and you start a conversation about their timepiece, and it goes into a conversation about other things they love, family, their careers, their community, their country, whatever it may be. And it's universal. And so for me, watches are a way that I connect with beauty, but also connect with great people.
I believe that so much, because watches for me just open, like you said, the gates to great people. You know, I always say, you know, I'm really in the relationship business. Watches are just my currency, because the people that you meet, the unique experiences that you get just by picking up a watch, just by seeing somebody in the airport and just saying, nice watch, man. And just that door opens so many other doors. You end up in a great conversation and you end up, playing golf together, doing something great like this. So I love that sentiment so much. So now when we speak about the marriage of, excellence and engineering and horological prowess, let's start with this amazing ArtyA Purity Stairway to Heaven piece. This thing is wow. Just wow. I say wow at a lot of the pieces you put up in the group, but this is amazing. 40 millimeter sapphire case. And from pictures, I thought it'd be a little bit thicker, but in person, this is amazing. You have 2 barrels powering the tourbillon. This is just amazing, amazing excellence. Look at that sapphire case.
Yeah. ArtyA is great at the sapphire cases. I mean, they have things, cases with nano technology in it, where they'll change colors. It's amazing what they've been able to do. This watch is particularly special. It's #1 of a limited edition of 99, and the escapement there kind of floats in the middle and has those 3 steps, and that's why they call it the Stairway to Heaven. But I love that watch, and it's my first all sapphire case crown, the whole shebang. You can see all the mechanics. And for me, it demystifies the movement, but at the same time, it's a bit of a mystery in how they pulled it all off so elegantly. And I can wear that watch dress up, or if I'm just about my day on an average day, when I wear it, I feel good. And I like to feel good.
Yeah, I like that. And to me, excuse me, not a tourbillon, but you do have a floating escapement there.
It is.
But to me, the execution of the sapphire case on this is outstanding. We've seen a lot of great brands do sapphire cases. We're gonna show you a really cool one next. But the curves that they were able to carve out of the sapphire and this one, the different edges on it, really, really amazing. Most sapphires you see a little bit more blocky, is more modular in design. And ArtyA is a brand. They do nothing the easy way. They do nothing the normal way. It's always the execution of how the founder wants it to go. And to me, this is probably one of the best sapphire pieces I've ever seen.
I get a lot of head turns when I wear that. And even if somebody doesn't know much about watches, they can tell that it's something special. And it's cool. At the end of the day, again, I use the watches to open conversations with people. And if I see somebody with a nice watch, I was in New York last year, and we were at an art show, and I met a gentleman, and he had on a Resonance watch. And at the time, I had on a Zeitwerk. And so I leaned over to him and said, "That's a very nice watch." And he was like, "Yours ain't too bad either." And we started talking, and he said, "I like you. You want to see something special?" I was like, "Okay." He said, "I'm going to invite you to my house. I know we just met." We go to his house, Upper East Side, and he has all this beautiful art. And he goes back and goes into some vault and pulls out a double parking meter FP jar. And I was like, woo! And I was like, this is gorgeous. He was like, yeah, thanks. I bought this some time ago. I said, well, what are you going to do with it when you're no longer here? He's like, I'll probably give it to my son. I was like, well, if he don't want it, your other son from that mystery lady that you dated when you were traveling around the world, BK, it will be happy to take it. And so we chuckle, but we've been friends ever since. We do dinners together. I got an award in New York for some of the work I did when I was going to graduate school here in New York. And he and his wife came, they donated money, we shared watch stories. But again, it was watches that introduced me to a brother from another mother. And that's special to me. I love the journey that human beings get to put themselves on when they're open to other cultures and other people. And this guy, he happens to be Jewish. I happen to be African American. But what's the common bond is we both love great timepieces. And we started with that. Generally, I tell people, do something you love with someone you don't usually do it with, and you'll find a friend, at minimum. And more than likely, you'll find a brother or a sister forever. And that's the beauty of things that we love. For me, it's watches.
Wow. And to me, it's so amazing. Watches is one of the few things where you could bring $1 million watch. I could have a Tissot PRX. You'll chuck this $1 million timepiece at me just because you're excited to see my PRX. I'm excited to see. You don't know my name. You might know my Instagram name. We didn't exchange IDs or anything. And same thing like you said, people invite you into their homes. They say, hey, I don't know you, but I feel like I know you. Yeah. So you need to come over. You know, you're a cousin and I want to bring you home, you know? No, I love that. I want to see a lot. All right, so we talk about ArtyA, which is a very modern, you picked this up a couple years ago. It's just a very modern interpretation of what a sapphire case can be and is. And you have a very special piece that you posted on a group. And I'm just, every time I'm like, where are you finding these watches? This is amazing. So I'm gonna read it right. It says Alain Silberstein, Krono Medio Saphir. And this is the first serially produced sapphire case wristwatch to ever be made. And it's Alain Silberstein, which means it's quirky, it's fun. We have all the primary colors and shapes there. Tell me a little bit about how you got this piece and why you decided to pick this one up.
There was an auction in New York, and they had the full range of wonderful timepieces. And they had this, it was like a relic from the dinosaur age or something. And I had wanted a sapphire watch. I hadn't got this one yet.
Okay.
And I didn't know that one existed. And I saw it and I was like, oh my God, well, everybody's gonna be going for the Journes and the fancy watches that they know of, you know, AP, Rolex. I might be able to get that one.
Yeah, sneak in there.
And sneak in there, and I did. And so I got it and I was so happy. And the folk that were running the auction said that was actually my favorite piece. And I'm glad that it went to a watch lover.
Yes.
And so that watch is special. I was at the Met Gala of watches recently, and we were at the top of the World Trade Center, and a gentleman who knows Alain Silberstein said, oh my God, you got his watch. Would you like to meet him? I was like, of course.
Yes.
So we're actually going to plan a dinner in Geneva.
Oh, I love that.
I'm going to go see him and I'll wear the watch.
Yes. Oh man, I love that part about the watch industry as well, especially where we're at too, where so many, the makers, the designers, the CEOs are open, they're willing to meet and touch people who appreciate their art. And this, just this being produced, you know, I think they're supposed to make 50. We think maybe less than 20. Tim says less than 20, so I kind of believe what Tim says.
Sure.
But for them to even try to make this in the late 90s, I think production started around 95, but 97 is when they were really released. And you could tell the difference, much blockier style. This has steel lugs that go inside the case, but it's very Alain Silberstein. So it's funky. You got the colors. It looks like nothing else you've ever seen out there. We even have the shapes on the pushers there, and just a great find. And I just love that you can really reach out and grab horological history. If you're not afraid, if you're open, if you want to do a little bit of research, you can grab something that's important, that really belongs in a museum, if you think about it, and you get to wear it around every day and enjoy it. And by the way, because this is sapphire, it's still in perfect condition.
Perfect condition.
Does not look like a watch from the 90s at all. At all. Oh, beautiful piece.
That's number 12. And whenever I wear it, I always get people to come up to me and say, oh, what's that? And you know, when you think about when this was done, and then, you know, this is 25 or so years before the Stairway to Heaven. And so what a long way we've come. But Alain was really a visionary.
Yes.
And for him to do this watch when he did, is just unbelievable. I mean, the work that it took to pull this off is extraordinary. And that's why he's one of the great watchmakers.
Yeah, for sure. I can't imagine, you know, what the R&D at that time when nobody else. Now there's many people, many industries have been developed under just how to make sapphire cases and things like that. So back then, it probably, you know, that's a whole nother video.
Whole nother show.
When you meet him, you know, tell me you want to do a little show.
Okay.
All right, next up, the only Rolex on the table, but a very, very special, again, another watch that when you post it, I'm like, is he manufacturing these watches? Where is he finding these watches? So here we have a Rolex Datejust. This is reference 16018. a beautiful, gorgeous, deep blue boiler
Gauge dial.
boiler gauge dial. So you have your brigade numerals on the outside, a little bit of a sector, and this is actually double stamped Tiffany Co. We believe it's the only one in existence, the only one that we could find in amazing, amazing condition. Probably one of the best Datejust I've ever seen, to be honest with you. Even without the Tiffany, you put the Tiffany on it, and it's like outstanding.
It's like a grand slam then.
Exactly.
Yeah, that watch is special to me. I had a two-tone variant, and a gentleman out of Michigan said, "Hey, I saw where you were the buyer of the two-tone. I have something in the vault that I think you might like." And he pulled it out and sent me that picture. And I was like, "You have this watch now? And it's available?" He was like, "Well, yeah." And he gave me his price. We went back and forth a couple of times.
Yes.
But I said sold. And I bought it, and I just fell in love with it. The dial really sparkles in the sun. It's this deep blue, almost black. Blue's my favorite color. And the watch with the double stamp, I think Rolex stopped doing the double stamp in the 90s, the mid to late 90s.
Yes.
And so for a watch to be in that condition and have that kind of signage, that appeal, the brigade numbers applied is unusual for Rolex. So that's something else that makes it special. That by the time this watch came out in the 80s, it does have the quick set date.
Yes.
So I like that. Some vintage watches, you got to keep turning and turning to get the date
It gets
set.
annoying.
Yeah, and it can be a little bit much.
Yeah.
But this one, I get tons of compliments when I wear that one, and it feels good on the wrist. I feel like I like to have at least one gold watch in my collection. Yeah. My dad had never had a gold watch, so I gave him a watch, not quite as nice as that one. It was a gold Rolex, and he doesn't take it off. He even sleeps in the watch.
Oh, I love that.
And so I was like, all right, Dad, well, I'm going to make you a watch enthusiast before long. And then I realized the watch I gave him was special. So I was like, Pops, I love you, but the watch that I gave you, you shouldn't just wear all the time.
Yeah.
I'm going to give you a different one.
Rotate
and I'll take that one back.
Okay.
He was like, oh, no, you won't.
Nah, that's his watch. No takesy backsies, man.
So I ended up giving him the second one, and we auctioned the one I originally gave him and split the money.
All right, that's fair. That's
so
fair. That's fair deal.
He's my dad. I love him. Without him, I wouldn't be here. So,
yeah, exactly, right.
But now he loves watches. So he'll go places, he said, and he said, son, they treat me different. They'll see the watch, and they assume he's a man of class and status and character, and gets treated accordingly. Yeah. And I kind of chuckle about it. I said, sometimes that can happen. Don't expect it to be the norm.
Of course.
But every now and then it happens. But it's I have so many watch stories. I mean, I probably need to make a movie about watches.
Yeah, we should. Right? And like you said, sometimes the watch enters a room, depending on the room you're in, but sometimes the watch enters a room before you. Yeah. And there's many beautiful gold Datejust and Datejust out there. Sure. When you have a piece like this, it's hard not for somebody like me. I just want to stare at this all day. I can end the video right now and just look at this beautiful dial. Yeah. Amazing, amazing. All right, so from something very classic and unique to something classic but futuristic, tell us about this very unique. This is such a fun watch. This is it's a Pulsar time computer, Tiffany Co stamp. This guy just finds the most amazing watches. Tell us a little bit about this watch.
That watch was actually worn by Roger Moore in one of the James Bond movies, because they always had all these cool gadgets. Yeah. And so that was the height of gadgetry for the watch to have digital numbers, digital date, press a button. And so this watch has a little magnetic piece in the band, the bracelet. You lift it up and you use that to set it. And under the bottom there, there's little indices, hours and minutes. And so it's all this stuff built into it. So it's a cool gadget watch. Because of my engineering and technology background, I loved it right away. And my very first watch was probably like a Casio G-Shock, because I was going into the service and needed something sturdy. But then when I saw that one, and people really didn't know what it was, and I was able to get it for a song, And more importantly, I love the watch. And sometimes I'll have on a suit and I'll strap that thing on just like I will, we wear Apple Watches today. This one, I think, 1973, around that time. They
Should have
made
been the height of the quartz and
height of
digital
the
as
quartz
well,
movement, all of that, exactly. And they made some with a gold tone, but most of them are the stainless steel variants.
Yeah, I think one, it's a cool watch, but with the Tiffany Co stamp there, it's amazing. Again, the condition here is excellent.
Yeah, it adds a little something to it.
Yeah, very, very nice. All right, next up, we have another very, very special piece. This is a Christopher Ward Canto Jabs Art Club edition. And the Jabs Art Club is a great group headed by Jabs Sutunji, who's also an alumni of Collector Conversation. I did with them a few years back. And he designed probably one of the best looking Cantos out there. Meteorite dial, Eastern Arabic numerals on the sub dial, and just his colorway, which is black and red. Tell me about this piece and what you like about it.
I love that watch. When people see me in that watch, they think it's an MB&F, something like that right away. I mean, the red fire bridges, the color contrast pop. As you said, the Eastern Arabic numbers, meteorite dial. None of the Cantos that were produced by Christopher Ward, and they're a great value brand, one of my favorites, in fact. And they, didn't have that configuration. And so when Jabs sent me an email saying, "Hey, BK, you want to get in on this?" I think they made 50.
Yes.
And so I bought one of them, and I love it. Gets a lot of wrist time, and then of course it has the hour passage chime feature. And that watch, the Canto, the original Canto, won in its category in the Oscars of watches, the GPHG. And so again, for someone who's on a journey of collecting, you can be high end or not so high end and still end up with a really fantastic set of pieces. And I think the most important thing I can tell collectors is to collect what you love, what moves you. Yep. I've shared the kind of things that move me, but at the end of the day, when we're in this horological hunt, if it doesn't speak to you, then maybe you should pass on it. If it speaks to you and you can afford it, or you can make it a part of your collection, go for it. If it's a grail for you, save up and then step into it. I love quality work. And you can find quality all along the spectrum. Some people think it has to be, the Holy Trinity brands. Yeah. I love those brands. They're great watches. But there are some of these micro brands and smaller companies that put out only a few watches a year that are making some really, really high quality stuff. And occasionally you get a value brand like Christopher Ward that partners with a visionary, that partners with an artist, and they come up with something like that. And so it's cool. I don't know if you can see the back, but it has a little wording on the back that's fun. Yeah. Can you read it?
Yeah. So it's from Dr. Seuss, and if you never did, you should. These things are fun, and fun is good.
Fun is good. There you go.
And what you said is so true. You got to be able to buy what you love. I know you heard me saying it forever and ever, but that's how you end up with amazing watches like these, but amazing watch like this as well, which is a partnership between a great brand, Jabs, and the people, right? And just passion and the people with Christopher Ward, Mike Pearson, and all of that, and letting somebody like Jabs and the community create something special. Nobody would have thought to do a meteorite dial. Nobody would have thought to do this type of colorway. And for the price, these were sold under $6,000. Yeah. You can't tell me this isn't a $15,000 watch. You can't tell me this isn't well above $10,000. And all people who wanted to support Jabs, who wanted to support Christopher Ward, and just wanted something unique, you ended up with, I think, one of the most special watches they've ever made. This is amazing. All right, so before we go, and we're talking about special watches, you have something very, very special on your wrist today. Let's talk about a Vacheron 222 that I think is going to be the first to ever be on camera. Right? We're doing world first today.
You know what? That's right.
Yeah, come on.
And thanks to the 1916 company, because you guys actually sourced this for me. My man Phil Maltese and then your guy Mike Munoz. I mean, they worked the deal out with me, and we did this. So this is a very special Vacheron Constantin 222, the original series. This one was one of 10 made in 1979 with a ghost dial. So when people look at it, they first say, oh, it's a 222. I was like, look closely. They're like, wait a minute, there's no numbers on it. Is this a prototype? What the heck is going on? Is that real? That can't be real. And I'm laughing. I said, I've got box, papers, and the extract from the archive.
Like, good watches find you. Good watches find good people. The fact that you found this, you know, and shout out to Phil and Mike for digging up this gem, 222 Ghost style. So you just have the Maltese cross, Vacheron Constantin Genève, and Swiss. Nothing else on the dial, just a date. So it's just this beautiful gold canvas. It looks like the gold desert. It's amazing. But to not only get the watch, but to find it with box and papers, with the archive, it just doesn't happen. Things like that just really don't happen. Again, excellent condition on this. And it's one of those watches where you stare at it as, oh, that's a 222, and then you gotta look back and you're like, wait, what is this watch? And it's just, you know, it's truly a unicorn out there, you know, with the modern 222 and all the thing. To find a gem like this is truly, truly special. And
I mean, look at the condition of that. It looks brand new.
No, like when you brought it, I was like, wait, come on.
And so they made 10, and they tell me at Vacheron that that's the only one known to exist in the world.
Yeah.
And so they've asked me to consider entering it in the first Concours d'Elegance for watches from 1999 or earlier. And so we think I got a chance to win.
I think so. I've seen a lot of great watches. This 222 with the ghost style, something about it is, I feel like if we show Danny Goldberg right now, he's gonna try to buy it before you can do anything with it. But just an amazing piece. The condition is excellent to be from the 70s. Like just it's amazing. You could tell the person who originally bought it loved it. They wore it, but they didn't beat it up at all. And for it to be one of 10 produced, and we know what happens with gold watches from the 70s. They gotta survive the gold smelters. They gotta survive so many things. For it to end up in your collection, I think it was just meant to be, you know?
Let me back you up on that. So I had one of the newer variants, the 2022 variant, and I actually combined it as part of a trade, and I got this fancy Patek 5712.
Okay.
And then my wife said, "What's wrong?" I was like, "Well, I'm missing my 222." And she was like, "Honey, why'd you let it go? I knew you loved that watch." I was like, "Well, I thought I needed to have the 5712 in my collection, so I made some trades." And then she was like, "Well, if another one pops up, you should get it."
I love it.
And maybe a couple days later, I get this picture from Phil. I was like, "Phil, what's that?" He was like, "I know, you want it?" I was like, "I do, but my wife's gonna kill me if I drop this kind of coin on a watch. Maybe we can do some trades or something. The BK, you're one of our best customers. You pull some stuff together, we'll see what we can do." And he talked to Mike, we sorted it out, said, "Look, just do these trades, put a little coin in, and we'll make it happen." And you guys came through, man.
Yeah,
and then we started doing the research, because back when we did the trade initially,
You started with a vintage 222.
vintage 222.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden to find out how rare it was, and the head of heritage for Vacheron was like, lucky guy, you're a lucky guy.
Yeah.
We went to New York, and the boutique at New York, the head watch tech, I have never seen this, and I've been here 40 years, never. And so we knew we had something special, and then they evaluated it. They sent the extract from the archive. They said, "This is fantastic. Please let us know if you ever want to depart with it." And I was like, "Okay, I'll let you know." But it's just, I mean, it's really good, and that's the collector's journey, right? We have these grails, and the 222 was definitely a grail for me. And for it to come to me in the way that it did, from friends, from people I got to know, kind of brings this whole thing full circle. It was like the universe saying, "I know you like watches, you got sad when you got rid of your 222, well, here's an even better one." You know?
Yeah.
And I believe that if you believe in love, believe in magic, it's those people that experience the most love and the most magic.
Oh, that's so cute. Oh man, I love that. BK, before we go, because you know we spent a lot of the time today and we talked a lot. I think, you know, the BK 20, 30 years ago would have never imagined what the BK today is collecting. So do you have a message to that younger BK and to the cousins out there who are watching on, you know, just journey and life, and how one can go from you know, just that G-Shock getting ready for the service into a 222 of everybody's dreams.
Right, right. Yeah. Well, I think one of the most important things that I can say is that if you have passion for something, people, writing, books, movies, watches, follow it. Our passions guide us to the edge of our fears, the edge of our courage. And then sometimes you have to take that leap. Take a chance on CQ.
Yeah.
Take a chance on the 1916 company.
Right.
Take a chance on Alain Silberstein and his vision for this new kind of case.
Yes.
Take a chance on a value brand and a collaboration with a really good guy that has exquisite taste. And those passions lead you to these places of joy.
Yes.
And where that, where your willingness to embrace difference, embrace others, that takes you to this kind of euphoria where you get to the intersection of excellence and technical brilliance. You get to the place where it's something you're proud to wear, something you're proud to hand on to generations.
Yes.
And watches can be a part of that. They do open doors. They do create a little museum on your wrist.
Yes.
And sometimes I'll be in meetings, CQ, and especially if it's a boring meeting, and I'll look at my watch, and I'll look up and smile. Everything's gonna be all right.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Oh man, BK, I want to thank you from the bottom of my heart. You have made the return episode of CQ one of the best.
Welcome back.
I want to thank all the cousins out there from the 1916 world for viewing, and we'll see you around.